Hey guys, what's going on? Well, just got a couple things I want to go over real quick. On the VHF 5Ks, this is one. I don't know if this one's sold yet or not, but it's a little dusty. I need to clean it. But good unit. And on the VHF 5Ks, the FPP feature is very, very nice. You can't have 9600 baud and FPP in the same radio. What you do is, when you program this on the fly, it's very simple. I suggest that you put FPP, if you've got an FPP radio, that you put FPP in this position rather than this position, because it's a lot quicker, and I'll show you why. FPP, see, OK is right above your thumb, so if you were to hit FPP, then you have to move your thumb over. FPP works really good just by clicking that. No passwords necessary, by the way. You can enter a password, but if you do, it's just going to make it a real headache for you, and I don't suggest that unless you're, real picky about your radio. But at the same time, most people keep their radios pretty much close to them. You don't need a password. But you can program your zones. It's very simple to enter on the keypad whatever numbers you want to enter in. Let's see here. Okay. I'll just enter the same ones. And actually, if the numbers that you enter after this are zeros, you can just go ahead and push OK, and it'll make it a lot quicker for you. RX the same way. You can set your PL and your DPL very easily. Just going to keep on going through this real quick. Your NAC. Usually I would leave that alone. I wouldn't even mess with the NAC. Some of you may need to, but really I wouldn't. The mixed and digital and analog RX type, you have to set that up per personality. And actually, when you program these radios are programmed in zones. If you've set your zones on an FPP radio in the CPS, if you've set your channels up to 254 and you've set your zones up, you can't delete those zones, and you can't delete the personalities, not on an FPP radio. Now, what I'm saying, there may be a workaround around that, but I don't believe it's true. I don't believe there is. But then again, there's a first time for being wrong and everything, and I've been wrong many times. You can just watch some of the older videos and probably figure that out. But I've looked around, and I haven't been able to find a workaround into deleting zones and deleting personalities. But what you need to do is you can still program these radios in the CPS and FPP radio. You need to go down to zone, work in the spreadsheet mode, and just enter everything you need to. Or you can do it like this. If you do it like this, it's just like working on a cell phone. It's difficult, and you shouldn't, well, it's just all in what you're into. But FPP is mainly used in the field. But you've got to go up in your personalities, and you have to literally go into each personality and choose if you're going to allow the end user who's holding the radio to have the option to choose from analog, digital, or mixed, and that's got to be in the program itself. And then you write it to the radio, then this option becomes available. And TX and digital, analog, and your bandwidth, of course, is adjustable. And your channel names. You can edit your channel names if you want to. I'm not going to. It's a very, very FPP is a very good feature. I really like that feature. The little blinking or little square up here is the programming. It tells you you're still in program mode. I need to finish it, and then it should disappear once I click that. There we go. Anyway, yeah, FPP radio is very nice, and the 5Ks, I do have them in VHF, and I don't know if this one's sold or not, but we'll see. Anyway, I need to hook that one up. But the converter comms, I've got 5 of them, and I've also got 5 or 6 display mics. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell these with them or if I'm going to sell them with this mic. Either one would be fine. I'm just not sure which configuration I'm going to throw in to the mix on those. I'm going to probably sell a few of them with full display mics, just because they're real nice packages, and the display mic, hang on, the display mic works very well. I need to put the RF adapter on here. By the way, if you need an RF adapter, you will need an RF adapter if you're using an XTVA. No way around it. I don't like RF adapters. I can't stand them, as a matter of fact. But at the same time, they're a pain in the ass to put on, and they're a pain in the ass to take off. And that's the main reason why I don't like them. They serve a very good purpose, and they're good for public safety mics, and they're good for XTVAs. Anything else, they're a pain in the ass. I'm going to go ahead and put this in, slide this in the XTVA, hook up a display mic real quick. If I can grab a mic, there we go. Okay. Should have done this first, but I'm going to go ahead and hook this, if I can get it around here. There we go. Remove slide contact dust cover if I can get it off, and I can't. Sorry about that, guys. You're just going to have to sit there and look at that. Look at that warning label. By the way, when you remove a dust cover, remove it from this position here. Don't go from the top. And by the way, if you can get away from these dust covers, do pick yourself up the heavy-duty dust cover. In the long run, you'll be a lot happier, a whole lot happier. Let's see. Power this on, there we go. The display mics are really, really nice. You've seen them in the other videos. I'm not going to go on and on about them. You've got good contact on here. I've got an FDM knob on this because it is a whole lot easier to use than those little ones. I don't like these little knobs. They're just a pain in the butt. But at the same time, trying to find an FDM knob these days is damn near impossible due to Motorola's brilliant maneuvering. But anyway, you've got some functionality on these. FPP is not available. Battery is, if I'm thinking right, but that's not an impressed battery in the radio. Zone control, you've got that. You've got channel control. You've got whatever you have entered into the menu. The clock, I haven't been able to get the clock to edit, but the reason I think that it won't edit is because of the FPP feature. Or I'm sorry, of the feature that is the same. I think it's proprietary to the radio. Even though it shows on the mic, I don't think that you can edit the clock. If you can, and you guys know about it, let me know. But you can go from high power to low power. You know, you can do all the essential things you need to do on this. And on the IDs, you can, well, shit, proprietary again. You know, these display mics do a lot, and they're very good for, especially like an 800 or talk groups or things like that. If you need to, well, there's a lot of different features that these mics are good for. But there are some things that are just proprietary to the radio itself. and you just can't, this doesn't serve as, it serves as an extension to the radio, but it's more of an extension just to the XTVA. You do have DTMF tones if you have that enabled, and your phone lists and things like that. I don't know if it's, yeah, it's on here. But anyway, these, I've got, what, 6 of them, and then I'll have 5 XTVA. So one will be sold, I know for sure, separately. And I believe there's a fellow that's near me that might pick one up, but we'll see about that. Let me see here. Oh, getting way off topic on a lot of things here. I did pick these up, and I'm very happy about this. I needed these really, really bad. And this is Model 3 Stingray non-submersible VHF. This is a, I guess Stingray is what they refer to the housing as, but this has the LCD in it and the keypad. I was very lucky to pick these up. Gosh, they're getting hard to get. Very hard to get. These are BNs. These are brand new, by the way. You've got the flex assembly. You can see how difficult this is on the inside, and why you really don't want to mess with one of these radios unless you absolutely have to. There's a lot of stuff in here, and none of it is easy to get to, and none of it is easy to work with, and it's just one of the things that you run into with dealing with a 2500, as opposed, the 2500 is just a lower tier radio, and you've got a lot of Walrus characteristics, which is like the 1250 and the 750, in that you've got these really nasty little brackets and things in here, and fragile flex connectors and things like that, to where the XTS5000, you know, look at the way that's in there. It's you know, it's good once it's on the radio, but you know, as far, it's just like, I don't know, I guess you could compare it as like to having a car with fuel injection as opposed to having a car with carburation. You know, it's just so much easier to work on a 5000 than a 2500, because you don't have to, you know, you don't have to fight and have, you know, proprietary tools. You do have to have, you know, tools for any, you know, any kind of engine work, but at the same time, you know, you don't have to deal with a lot of older cars. They're a whole lot easier to work on. There's not that many restrictive capabilities. Here's another one. This one doesn't have the top piece. I wish it did. The little cover, but people just rip those off anyway, so I'm not that worried about it. But these are going to be going on either their VHF. One will be for sure VHF, and 2 might be VHF. But I may make one UHF just to have and keep those radios. They're quick carry radios, and I mean, as far as I'm concerned, having 1 or 2 5000s, you know, for personal use. I really don't need the 800 megahertz band split. I don't need the S band split, 450 to 512. By the way, I do have one of those, and it's a very nice Model 3. And if you need an S split 450 to 512, I've got it. It ain't going to go cheap because it's the only one I've got. But I do have that. I've got the 800s. I've got them in Model 3s, and I need to get a hold of well, I need to get a hold of my camera and actually get those 800s, get some pictures on them and get them out to the people who need them, because I've got some really nice fellows that are interested in them, and I want to get those out. Also, the ones that I don't get out individually, I will wind up putting on eBay. Trying to get away from eBay as much as possible. Gosh, they eat me alive with their you know, with their shipping and with their, I can't believe they charge final value fees on shipping, but they do. And it just makes it difficult for everybody. By the way, the Impress chargers, I'm running out of. So I only have a few of them. And, you know, I do have some new in the box. But, you know, if you need an Impress charger, you better grab one while I've got them. I may have 5 or 6 left. Those microphones that are the replacement for the Jedis, I've got those, but I've only got about, I don't know, 8, 9 left. And it's going to be very difficult to get those mics again. It's going to be very difficult to get those chargers again. I've gone with the IntelliCharger, and those are very, very solid IntelliChargers. They work good. I like the Impress better, just like anybody would, but at the same time, the Impress chargers are getting a little bit harder to get. So, you know, if you want these items, you need to pick them up. You need to get a hold of me. I'm sorry about my YouTube inbox. It's still screwed up. I don't know what in the world happened, but I mean, I can get the comments and I can reply to the comments. I can't reply to the messages, and I can't get the messages. So it's just one of those things that I don't know what in the heck's wrong with it, but for some reason I don't think it's all the. I think I haven't heard any other uploaders mention anything about it. So I think it's just kind of my problem. The XTVA does stay lit when it's in the unit. These wires wouldn't show, but you know, I do have it hooked up to the power supply. So you know, it looks a little raw right there, but they you know, they took away very nicely. You know, you do have on these, you've got indicators for transmit and receive, of course. And let me see here. So, you know, very good all the way around. I recommend these XTVAs. Didn't mean to key that up. I recommend these XTVAs. I think they're very good. If you can't afford a mobile, and if you like to just be able to slap your radio in and go, they're very good. I don't really know exactly what else I was going to mention, but time's running very short, and it's been a very long day, so I've got to get up and do it. Oh man, just probably 5 hours, so I'm not going to get much sleep. Anyway, if you need these things, and just as updates, I did want to do an FPP demo, and that's pretty much how FPP works. Let me get back to this, go back to the home. Should have done that with a keypad or mic. But yeah, the FPP works very, very good when you just need to enter the frequencies and go. So, as far as that goes, not bad. Anyway, you guys take it easy, and later on.